Did we get one hell of a patch for Lies of P or what? This patch is actually kind of crazy. We're going to talk about it. There's a lot of changes, all right, especially when it comes to the bosses. These are kind of generous, at least more generous than I thought they would be. So let's talk about it. First on the list, we have field monster balance changes. It says decreased the HP of certain field monsters, increased the chance of breaking some monster's stance and the frequency of stagger, and then increased the staggerable window time. Now, this last one I didn't think was an issue. I feel like the window times are fine. But these other two, field monsters, they mean monsters just within the world, I'm assuming, right? This is not bosses. They decrease the HP of certain ones and increase the chance of breaking some of their stances. They can be a little stingy, so I'm not against this, but I do feel like the window times were just fine. That's just me though. It says here as well, decrease the HP of all three types of dimensional butterflies. So the butterflies that we have to attack in order to get specific certain special items, they have less HP too, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think it needed that, but here we are. Let's keep going. So we have right here, adjusted the rewards for some monsters. So increased the drop rate of moonstones, decreased the drop rate of star fragments. Oh, when I first read this, I thought this said increase of star fragments. They're decreasing star fragments. Did they find my farming spot? There's a couple in the game. There's at least a few where you can get many star fragments. They're decreasing that. Then it says they increase the drop rate of ergo items. I could agree with that. I could say that's a good one. They increased the ergo rewards of certain monsters that appear after the Lorenzini arcade. I'd have to think about that one. I'm not really sure if that was an issue or not, but I mean, it's there, so they did that. This one is the one we really gotta talk about, all right? This is the boss monster balance changes. They decreased the HP for the fallen archbishop, all right? That's a big one. A lot of people have trouble with that boss, so that's a huge one. They also decreased the HP of the King of Puppets in the first phase. Okay, so it's the first phase only. Interesting. They also decreased the HP for Simon Manus, Arm of God. I literally did a how-to on this boss yesterday. So it's crazy how the timing, right? The timing. I mean, I'm not surprised by this because Simon is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous boss, okay? So this boss getting a decrease in the HP, I'm not surprised one bit because that boss is just crazy. It also says here they decreased the damage of Simon. So the damage he does to you. That's wild. So he's getting nerfed big time. This boss is really getting nerfed. There's one more too. Increased the chance of breaking the stance of Simon. And I was just thinking that the stance breaks don't come easily in that fight. They really don't, especially the second phase. And when they do happen to happen, there's so much going on in that fight that you sometimes can't even take the opportunity because you're going to get hit by something else. I talk about it in my video. So they're increasing the chances now. You're going to get more opportunities, and that's going to be interesting to see. I would like to fight this guy again just to see the difference, or at least watch somebody do it, you know? So that right there is some big time nerfs for Simon. And then this one at the bottom here is a big one. Increased the Spectre's HP and damage. So this is the NPC that helps you fight in the boss fights. Now they have an increase in their HP and the damage they do. That's a huge one because a lot of these Spectres sometimes they just die really fast and it can really change the dynamic of the fight. If they lasted longer, it would of course be easier. So this is a big one right here. They also had some other changes here related to the respecking. So if you guys wanted to respec sooner, they're actually doing that as well. It says added the feature to reset the character's level, P organ, and Legion arms at the gold coin tree. Oh, so it could just be at the tree now. Okay, I see. Characters created after this patch will now receive 8 gold coin fruits instead of 5 for their first harvest. So you're going to get more of the gold coin fruits. That helps. It also says adjusted the required amount of gold coins to reset the character's level, P organ, and Legion arms. No joke, I was actually wanting to respec my arm, but I had run out of fruits. I was waiting for them to grow. So this would have helped me before. I would have already had it respect or whatever, because I spent them all. I respect a couple times, and you know, it can be a little pricey, but now the price has gone down. So that's good to know. You're essentially going to be respecing more often if you want to. It's going to be cheaper to do so. So that's a big deal right there. Here's some additional changes. It says players will now be able to carry more weight for each point spent on capacity. Okay, I know that's a big one. People were complaining about that one. So that seems like a good one. Decreased the weight of amulets. Wow. That could be purchased with Boss Ergo. Decrease the weight of amulets. That's a big one too. Players will now be able to land attacks better when they use Fable arts that consume 3 or more slots. Okay, and then successfully performing the Fable art guard parry will now break the monster's stance. That guard parry, I tried to do it a couple times and it did nothing for me. I was like, I'm gonna change this, but now you will break the monster's stance. I thought that's what it was supposed to do. See, I was kind of confused. Like, what is this guard parry even doing? So there you go with that. There's a lot of stuff going on, you guys. A lot of changes here. I'm scrolling down. There's some bug fixes. I'll put that screenshot on the screen for you guys to see that. Some known issues with the controllers as well. That could be a PC thing. I'm not sure on that, but I'll share this link with you guys in the description. You can check out all the notes. Tell me what you think about this, because I'm kind of torn on a few things. Decreasing the HP on certain bosses, I would say, yes, that's good for new players. That's good for those who are struggling. I could have used that before. I would have liked that, but you know, it is kind of a badge of honor to say, yeah, we beat these bosses pre-patch. That's cool and all, but at what cost, man? My sanity was going crazy sometimes. So I could have benefited from the HP being lower, but here we are. I beat the game already. So I think it's nice to know that newcomers and people who are struggling, this is going to really help you out. The Souls elitists and those who really pride themselves on challenges, they're probably going to have an issue with this. They're going to say, oh my gosh, they made this game too easy. I went through it and now you guys get to just go through it so easily. It can cause maybe some resentment there or whatever, but ultimately, I think the developers are just really trying to expand the community. They're trying to listen. They're trying to follow the feedback that they're getting. And I'm sure they've gotten a lot when it comes to the difficulty. I would have liked to see the parry window tweaked. I think it could have been a little bit bigger. That would have made me more happy, I think, than the HP being decreased. I think empowering the character to have more of a better parry window and just these other quality of life things like we talked about, the drop rates, the weight of the amulets, that being fixed, those are good to me. I feel like those are perfect. But when you're kind of tweaking the bosses and making those a bit easier, I'm kind of torn on that, because yes, the newcomers, it's good for them, but I also feel like the game is supposed to be challenging and that's how it was intended, and you can beat these bosses. I mean, I did it. It can be done. It's not like they're impossible, but I do feel like they are very difficult. So if this gets more of the community happy, I'm not against it. I just feel like I would have liked to see that parry window fixed instead. So that's just my thoughts, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. Let me know what you think about all these changes in the comment section. Do you love this patch? Do you hate it? Let me know, all right? Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.